So, hi guys, this is Gaurav here. I'm the program manager for the Cambridge Judge Business School Executive Education Program and Executive Education Program and Digital Marketing Strategies. So, we have with us Professor Shasha, who's here to take a lecture on display and app marketing. She'll be firstly answering the pre-submitted questions by you. Then she'll take you through the display and mobile app marketing, followed by any questions that you have during the session that can be taken at the end of the session. I'll just be handing it over to Professor Sasha now. Professor Sasha, I'm making you the presenter for the session. You can start.
Okay, great. Thank you, Gaurav. And greetings from Cambridge. I'm very glad to see you again for today's webinar. As you may have learned, we had a change of topic for today's webinar. And today I'm going to focus mainly on the display marketing and mobile app marketing. Okay, without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so here is today's schedule. First, we're going to spend about 15 minutes to quickly go through the questions the students have submitted earlier. We have a great set of questions today. And secondly, we're going to review the content we have learned about display ad marketing, and hopefully I'll add more structure to the existing knowledge you have on display marketing. And following that, we're going to review the mobile app marketing, where I'm going to give you some more examples on how should we segment our mobile app users and what are other strategies we can use to engage with our mobile app users. And finally, if you have any questions, and feel free to ask me at the during last 10 minutes of this of today's webinar. Okay, so I've rearranged the submitted questions, and so the first questions we have is what are the best channels to publish native ads to get meet with ROI? Okay, so this is a great question, but the issue with the question is that clearly there are no best solutions for everyone. Okay, so each of us is operating a different business, and we have very different target market as well as different types of target customers. So there are no best solutions to the way that you can use native ads to improve the ROI. Instead, I'm going to reframe the question to how to choose the right channels for native ads. Okay, so to this end, like I said, not all channels will offer the option for native advertising, and some of the channels may be unsuitable for your target market and for your target audience. So one principle you can use when choose a platform that can be used for the native ads is that you should choose the platform that seems organic for your company and the customers you want to serve. Okay, so what kind of platform can be seen as organic? I mean, that's the whole essence of advertising through native ads, right? So you should think about social networks such as LinkedIn or Facebook and online magazines for your specific target audience or your specific target market, or some industry news website where your ads may fit very naturally with the existing content of the publisher's website. So in choosing the right channels for native ads, one principle you should remember is choose whatever that can fit with the publisher's existing content and your target market, target customers' interest. Okay, so for example, you wouldn't create a travel-focused native ad for a gaming website, or one that's very technical in nature for a gardening website, because you wouldn't be reaching the right type of audience. Okay, I hope that's clear. And the second question we have is about the difference between the display marketing and the affiliate marketing. Okay, the question is is Google Display Network a kind of affiliate? And how are these two related? Does it make sense for advertisers in this, for example, your business to sign up both for affiliate programs and Google Display Network? Okay, so I'm going to answer the second part of this question first. So simple answer is yes. So as an advertiser, it makes sense for you to sign up both for affiliate programs and Google Display Network. There are no conflict between these two ways to advertising your product, because the main objectives for the display advertising and affiliate advertising are completely different, and they play very different roles in consumers' decision-making process. Okay, so to answer the first question, we need to first understand the difference between the display advertising and affiliate advertising. Okay, so if you are a advertiser, you want to advertise your business on a display network. So what you need to do is you should design your own ad. That's very important. And pay the display networks such as Google Display Network or Facebook or Bing ad network to display your ad on the publishers they are affiliated with. Okay, so the publisher's website will serve the ad you have designed, and the cost mechanism or the cost model is most of them are based on the cost per thousand impression. Okay, as you may have learned already in the lecture. So this is the mechanism of display advertising. Later on during the webinar, we're going to review this process and review the ecosystem, the very complicated display ad ecosystem. And this is a short version of that. So this is how the display advertising work. And comparing with that, when you are choosing to advertise through the affiliated advertising network, as an advertiser, you first join the affiliated program or the affiliate network, and then you want to place your product or your service at another publisher's website. In this case, we call these websites the referral website or the affiliates. Okay, so they also should need to join the affiliate network in order to place your product, the ads of your product or your service on their website. And the key difference between these two are, first of all, that you, in this case, in the affiliate advertising example, you don't need to design your own ad. In fact, you have no control over the format your ad is being placed or is being exposed to the referral website's audience. So after the audience click on the link on the referral website, they will follow the link to your landing page. And then in any case, if there is a purchase or there is a lead occur, then now you should pay the referral website according to the percentage of purchase. So this is very different as opposed to the cost per thousand impression. So the key difference is that whether you have control over the format of your ad and what are the mechanism or what are the model you use to pay for the effectiveness of the ad. Okay, so now you can see that the Google Display Network is a different network from the affiliate network. In fact, before 2013, Google had its own affiliate network. But after around July 2013, Google decided to retire its Google affiliate network and focus mainly on Google Ad and Google Display Network. Okay, so as you can see, these two ways, these two digital marketing channels are completely different in the way that, first of all, the display network are mainly focusing on improving the awareness, improving the awareness of the brand of the product, while the affiliate network, because it's operated the commission under commission cost model, so there are more more focus are placed on the actual conversion. Okay, so if you want to improve your conversion rate, if you want to improve the number of people who choose to purchase your product, then the affiliate network may be a better way for you to do that, because through the affiliated publishers, or then your product or your service can be exposed to a larger audience. And most of the time, these websites are more closely related to customers' decision making. So customers tend to go on this website to look for more information related with the purchase, with the product or the service they're looking at. Okay, so as you can see, these two are in charge of different stage of customers' decision-making process. While at the earlier stage, customers are mainly influenced by the display marketing, where, for example, if I go to the New York Times website while looking just for news, then I might see a ad advertising, I don't know, the travel, some travel plans. Well, it's different. Well, if I have already had a travel plan in mind, I will go to some product or service comparison website, where then it make more sense for you to place, as a travel agency, to place your ad at those websites, so that I can directly follow the link to your website and to make the purchase. Okay, so I hope that answers this question. And the next question is, by looking at a display ad, can you tell if it's based on display or pragmatic? Okay, this is a very interesting question, but sadly, the answer is no. Unfortunately, we can't tell if an ad is based on the partnership, or if it's based on pragmatic marketing. Okay, so the essence of pragmatic marketing is that the pragmatic ad buying typically refers to the use of software to purchase the digital advertising. Okay, so unfortunately, by the look at a display ad, we can't tell if this ad was purchased by human being, or if it was planned and purchased by a model, a computer model. Okay, so and this next question is a long one. So is it right that an advertiser has 4 broad options in display or affiliate? First, use Google Display. Second, use Ad Exchange. Third, use affiliate network. And 4, targeted partnerships with publishers, if possible. And as an advertiser, how would you create investment strategy? First of all, I really like this question. And this is a very good question. And to answer the first part of your question, that is correct. So if you want to advertise through the display or affiliate network, these 4 are generally the 4 options you have. Okay, you can either advertise through the display advertising network, or through the ad exchange, or use affiliate network. And finally, if you are partnered with some important publishers in your industry, you should have the option of using targeted advertising using this partnership with the publishers. Okay, so then it's important for us as an advertiser to choose what is the right combination of these 4 options. Okay, so what are the principles that we can use to change? We can use to advertise. We can use to advertise our product or service. Okay, so by answering that question, it's very important to understand the difference and the relations among these 4 options. Okay, so first of all, I like to talk more on the relations or distinctions between the Google Display Network and the typical ad exchange network. Okay, so um, uh, first of all, the ad exchange network is usually larger and have more affiliated websites, and so it usually has more scale and more reach than the Google Display Network. Okay. But often, if you are tapping into the ad exchange, it means that you are using a DSP. Okay, so that's the demand side. That's a demand side player. And this means that the platform fees and other marked off costs are involved. Okay, if you are using a DSP to do the real-time bidding for you through the ad exchange, then you have to pay for the platform fee and other marked up costs. But as I said earlier, the on the good side, you will get a much bigger reach and a much bigger scale through the ad exchange network. Okay, and another cons of using ad exchange is that it's usually very technical, and so that's the where the where the DSP comes in. Okay, so you should tend to, in general, the exchange is usually done by experienced advertisers. Okay, and another issue with the exchange network is that it does not have 100% viewability, so you can't always have access to the data and to the mechanism you use to bid for the ad space. Okay, so and comparing with the exchange on the Google Display Network, so in short we call it GDN, is great for advertisers with smaller budgets or advertisers that do not have the option of collaborating or run with a DSP. Okay, so as you may have known that the Google Display Network is very user friendly. So even if you don't have much prior experience with the display advertising, you can easily use their platform to design your ad, to launch the display program, marketing program, and also to view the data to assess and optimize your marketing program. Okay, so the Google Display Network has some targeting features that the ad exchange do not have. For example, it doesn't. So the Google Display Network has 100% viewability, and it allows to bid for the cost per conversion instead of the cost per 1,000 impression. And it allows the in-market targeting, okay, which are not available usually in the ad exchange network. Okay, so as I said earlier, the affiliate network mainly focusing on improving the purchase because you are paying for the purchase that your target customer is made. Okay, you're paying a commission fee to the affiliates. Okay, so in this case, it's clear that if you want to improve your awareness, you should choose between either Google Display Network or the ad exchange. And if you want to improve the conversion, improve the purchase, you should consider using the affiliate network. Okay, and then where is left the fourth one, the targeted partnership with publishers. Okay, so this is an alternative option. You have alternative option to either the Google Display Network or the ad exchange network. Okay, so this is mainly applicable when you have a very concentrated market. You have in this market, your customers are very concentrated, and the publishers will attract mainly your target audience. So this usually is applicable in the B2B market. Okay, for example, if you are selling toward a specific type of audience and this audience is going specifically to this publisher, then it makes sense for you to advertise your product or service on this publisher's website. Okay, so I hope now it provides you with a clearer image on how should you choose between these four broad options in display or affiliate marketing. Okay, so next question is can a media website like Time of India be a publisher for display through direct partnerships with advertisers and affiliate through affiliate networks at the same time? If yes, which is more profitable proposition for them? Okay, again, this is a very good question. So previous question is focused mainly on the advertisers. Now we're looking at the publishers. That's the other end of the table. Okay, so as I said earlier, and these two ways of digital marketing has a very different cost model. Okay, so these two are very different in terms of the way it gain profit, and also it's very different in the times in the stage they intervene during the customer's decision making process. Okay, so thus these two plays very different roles in the publisher's business strategy. Okay, so usually the type of publisher website that benefit more from affiliate marketing are the content publishers that customers look to for advice and guidance when making decisions on products or services. Okay, so these sites would influence their consumers' purchase decision. Okay, that's why when the customers actually make a purchase through these publishers' website, these publishers can gain a commission fee. Okay, if these traffic is large, then the profit it gain from affiliate marketing is also large for the publisher. Okay, so I guess the real answer to this question will be it depends. It's depending on your audience type. Okay, for the Time of India or any other type of media website, you should have a deep analysis on the composition of your target audience. How many of your audience come to your website mainly for the news, for the Euro type of information, and how many of them actually assess the information with the purpose to make a purchase, or assess the information that's closely related to the purchase of a product of a service. And finally, how many of them actually make a purchase after visiting the information you posted on your website. Okay, after analyzing the composition of your readers, of your audience, then you should analyze what are the available ad space on your publisher's website, on your media website, and do a cost benefit analysis. Okay, so again, there's no one right answer to this question, but I hope through these procedures you will be able to identify the optimal combination of the display and the affiliate marketing you should run on your website. Okay, so finally, I put this one in the last because it's very closely related to our webinar topic today. Okay, so the question is, what does creative stands for in display marketing, and why creative is important? So actually, the students use two important for better click through. Okay, so. So the reason I put this in the last is because I hope that after the webinar and during the review session, review of the display marketing, I hope to answer your questions again. So that is correct that the creative is very important in display marketing. And later on in the following couple of slides, I hope it become clear to you why is that and why it's important for the conversion. Okay, so now let's get into the display marketing. Okay, so so first of all, I always think that the display ad is the most similar digital marketing tool. Is the most is the only digital marketing tool or the that is the most similar to the traditional digital marketing channels. Okay, why is that? Because the mechanisms the digital marketing is the digital ad or display ad is operating is based on the ad inventory or the ad space. Okay, so we all know that we have all sorts of ad space on either the website or on the mobile. So these space varies in terms of the position as well as their size. Okay, so the display ad actually is similar one as it's a similar way as we used to advertise on a magazine or on a newspaper. Okay, so on one hand, we have the publishers where they have uh, they have the space they wish to sell to advertisers on their website. Okay, so these publishers range from large publishers like the New York Times to small websites or personal blogs. Okay, and on the other hand, we have the advertisers, okay, they who wish to buy digital space for us to reach to their target customers.
Professor
Okay.
Sasha, just to interfere, sorry,
Yeah.
the screen is not shared. The
Sorry.
presentation, the presentation is not shared on the screen.
Oh, why is that?
Uh,
So
can you just share it again?
I have already, sorry, I have already enabled the screen share. Do you want me to close and do that again?
So just yeah, close and enable it again and select on the PPT. Full screen the PPT and then select it, because till now we have not seen your presentation. So the
Oh, okay. Okay. So apologize for that. I will like I will do that again. Let me, is this working now?
yeah, you can just full screen the, this works.
Sorry. Is it working?
Yeah, it is working.
Okay, great. Okay, apologize for that. So I will share the slides after today's webinar. So no worries. Okay. So okay, so get back to the display network. Okay, so like I said, we have two sides. On one side, we have the publishers who have the ad inventory, and in the other side, we have the advertisers who are in need of the ad space to reach to their customers. So there comes a third party, which is the display ad network. Okay, so the ad network aggregates the supply of advertising space from a variety of publishers and match it with the advertiser's demand. Okay, so in addition to buying and selling ad space, the ad network also develop some algorithm to help their clients to optimize this place of ads on various websites. Okay, so the Google Display Network is by far the world's biggest ad network, and so the key function of the ad network is aggregation of space supply from publishers and matching it with the advertiser's demand, so that when a consumer visits the publisher's website, the traffic can be driven to the advertiser's website. Okay, so now, in comparison with the search ads, where a few top search engine companies dominate the landscape, the display advertising are part of a very fragmented industry, comprising many different players in different roles along the value chain. Okay, so let's look at these players one by one. Okay, so on the consumer end, we have publishers, right? So when the user visited a publisher website, publisher shows the ad to the user, and at the same time as the user visited the publisher's website, some of the user's information was gathered by the publisher. Okay, from the advertiser's side, the advertisers they mainly deal with the demand side platform, where they aggregate their ad needs and talk to the supply side platform through the ad exchange network. Okay, so on one side we have the information about the customers. On the other hand, we have the need from the advertisers, aggregating need from the advertisers, where they're looking for the type of customers, they're looking for the space to put their product or service at. Okay, so then these two sides makes a deal through the ad exchange, and most of the time through the real time bidding auction mechanism. Okay, after the deal is made, then the ad will be transferred through the supply side platform to the publisher and then to the user, and the information of the customers can be passed through to the data to another player in the display ads ecosystem, um, that is the data analysis, data analytics. Okay, so these the data analytics firm, they provide support for the advertisers to target their advertising that can meet the publisher's audience profile. Okay, so this is the display ad ecosystem we're talking about. So there are several key players here. So as an advertiser, you can either choose to do the display marketing through the ad network, like the Google Display Network, or through a demand side platform company. Okay, so that's the ecosystem of display advertising. So next, as an advertiser, so what is the one key thing that we should pay attention to if we want to get more people to visit our website, or if we want to get more conversion? Then it's important to understand the process. Okay, I call this process the exposure, attention, engagement, and behavior process. Okay, so from the beginning where the ad is exposed to the customer. Okay, so to where the customer is making the purchase. There are mainly 4 stages that are involved. Okay, so let's look at these 4 stages one by one. First of all, when you as an advertiser schedule the ad on the channel, when your target customer is visiting a publisher's website, your ad is being exposed to your audience. Okay, then it's important for you to understand how much attention you get from the audience. Okay, so there are several metrics we can use to measure here. That is, first of all, it's a percentage of people who are exposed that actually pays attention to your ad. And then second is because the display advertising is usually paid through the CPM mechanism, so you should be aware of the cost per impression you get. Okay, so after the consumer sees the ad and pay attention to your ad on the channel, then the next stage is engagement. Okay, so how do your target audience, or whether do your target audience are engaged with your ad? Okay, but actually click on your ad and land it on your landing page. Okay, so again, there are a couple of metrics we can use to measure this. Okay, first of all, that is the percentage of people who paid attention to your ad and get engaged by click on your ad and land it on your web page. Okay, and secondly, what is the cost per click? What is the cost per click for you to get the audience of the publisher's website to be engaged with your ad? Okay, so after that, then customers usually convert or make a purchase. Okay, so this is a final stage where the purchase is finalized. Okay, then again, there are a couple of metrics we can use to measure that the percentage of people who are engaged that actually convert, become your customer, and then at this stage you should monitor the cost per conversion as well as the return of your advertising spend. Okay, so after introducing this four-stage process, now if I ask you, as an advertiser, what are the two stages that you are actually in control? Okay, what are the two stages that you are actually in control as an advertiser? How should you, as an advertiser, increase the percentage of people who are actually making a purchase at the end stage? Okay, I've already emphasized, highlighted in the slides, but as you can see, like you can't control like how many people or who are the people that can visit that are exposed by your by your ad, but after they are exposed, you can actually control how many people that are paying attention to your ad and how many people that actually are engaged with your ad through what? Through creative, right? That is the content through the actual design of your display ad. Okay, so that is the question we heard earlier, right? Why the creative is so important in the display advertising um, display channel, because it actually leads the customers to pay more attention to your ad and lead the customers to engage more with your ad. Okay, so these two stages in the middle are actually determined by how good your ad is. Okay, so that is why the content design is a major part in the display advertising. Okay, so because that's the one key information that can lead to attention and engagement. Okay, so a lot of the display marketing effort goes into how should you design the right display ad and how should you pick the right content for the right audience. Okay, for example, take a look at these two ad designs. Okay, and if you are the advertiser, which one should you use and why? Okay, how should you make the decision? How should you choose which one should you expose to a specific audience? Okay, so that is the question we're going to answer in the following couple of slides. Okay, first of all, let's see a couple of more examples of the ad. Okay, so here, because the ad design for the search ad and the display ad are actually essentially the same, so I use both as an example to illustrate the idea of the ad design here. Okay, so let me ask you, just take a look at these two ads. Is it a good ad design? And why or why not? Okay, so now you have your answers in your mind. Let's look at another one. So like I said earlier, after customers click on your ad, they will be landed on your website through the landing page. Okay, so the landing page design is also very important to improve the conversion rate. Okay, so to that end, look at these two landing page. Which landing page is better? Why? Okay, do you have your answers now? Okay, the real answer is we can't answer this question without looking at the data. Okay, so I know that might be surprising for some of you, But let me explain this further. Okay, so well, after a consumer is exposed to a website, whether to an ad, whether it's a search ad or it's a display ad, and they are landed on the landing page, and finally we go to the conversion. We go to the conversion stage where they either make a purchase or they share the content with others, or they sign up for a future information feed. Okay, so along this process, how should we determine whether content design is good or not? There's only one thing that can actually determine whether the content is good or not. That is the conversion. Okay, so that is the only metrics that you should use to determine or to choose to pick the right content for your product or your service. Okay, so um, look at the sentence I put on the slides is all about conversion. Okay, and why does it matter? Some students may ask, like, I don't think the content matter for me. Let's look at one example. Again, like I said, in essence, the search ad design and the display ad design, in essence, they are the same. So let me use this search ad as an example. Okay, so we have two search ad here. One is the ad done by Expedia, and another one is done by GUI. Okay, my question is, which ad do you think leads to higher clicks? Again, we can't answer that without looking at the data, right? So what I can tell you is that the TUI one is ranked at the top on the search result page, and the Expedia one is ranked at the second. Okay, but as you can see, that the design of these two ads are completely different, and they have different focus. Okay, so if I tell you that the second, the one that ranked at the second at the search engine result page is actually attracting more clicks than the one that ranked at the top. Okay, so now you will know that even if you don't spend that much money on bidding for the position at the search engine result page, you can still get a higher click-through rate by designing a better ad. Okay, so that's why the design of the ad is very important. Okay, even you do not spend that much money in either the search ad campaign or the display ad campaign, you can still get the desired result from designing a better ad. Okay, so then how to do that? Like I said, first of all, the way to determine whether an ad design is good or not is through the data, right? Through the conversion data. And second of all, if you design a good ad, you can drive the conversion rate even you do not have enough budget for your display advertising. Okay, then how does it work? How should we put this into practice? So there is a simple way that we can do this. That is called a randomized control trial, or in the popular term, we call it A/B testing. Okay, so the way it works is that you have two ad designs. Like these ad designs comes from your marketing team, and then you have a business objective. Okay, which is I want more people who visit the website to subscribe. Okay, I want more people to sign up for the subscription. Okay, then how should I do that? Then I will show these two different ads to randomly to our target audience. Okay, so in this case, 5% of our target audience sees the version A, and 5% of our target audience sees version B. Okay, by measuring the conversion rate of these two versions, then I'll have a much clearer idea which design is better for the specific target audience I have. Okay, so this is why the reason why the design is important and how should we choose the right design for our target audience. Okay, so then uh, um, I let me introduce you a rule of thumb rules that we typically use for improving the conversion rate through the design. Okay, so now let's go back to the funnel framework we use. Okay, so these are the four stages customer goes through to in order to reach to become our customers. Okay, so at the first stage, customers are mainly looking for information. Okay, at the first stage, which is the attract stage, the objective is to attract customers' awareness. Okay, this is a stage where we should provide the creative and informative information. Okay, so the main objective of marketing at this stage is to raise the awareness. Okay, and moving on to the second stage, which is the convert stage, where the customers are mainly looking for the information that can help them to make the purchase decision. Okay, so at this stage, the type of information we should provide or type of ad we should use is the informative and persuasive content. Okay, so the main purpose of the display marketing at this stage is to drive interest. Okay, drive interest by providing more information to help customers to make the decision. Okay, and then moving on to the third stage where customers are actually in the stage of making the purchase. At this stage, we should give the customers a push, which means that the content we provide at this stage should be persuasive. Okay, we should offer them some incentive to make the purchase to become our customer. Okay, and if the customer is not ready to make the purchase, then at this stage we can use the content that can serve as a reminder. Okay, to serve as a reminder to remind the customers of making the purchase. Okay, so the objective of the display marketing at this stage should be to drive the action. Okay, action here being making the purchase or convert it or some other forms of conversion measure. Okay, so let me give you an example of each stage. So if you want to attract customers' awareness at the earlier stage of customer decision making process, then the type of display ad you should run will be mainly the concept ad. Okay, so these concepts, as you can see from the examples I gave here, are carefully designed and are meant to express a creative idea, and they often have the goals of increasing customers' awareness toward the product or the service. Okay, and they usually used to generate brand and product attribute awareness, along with generating or improving the favorability and the customer's intention to put this brand in their consideration or their product in their consideration set. Okay, so the second stage is to attract the customers' interest and convert them. Okay, so at this stage, the main content you should run, type of content you should use in display marketing is called the content ad. Okay, so at this stage, customers are in need of information to help them to make the final purchase. Okay, so as a correspondingly, the content ad is usually have the made funnel goal of enhancing customer understanding of a product, of a brand, and accomplish this by providing high quality content with which the viewer can engage more with the product to learn more about the product or the attributes information, and to have more information that can help them to actually make a decision. Okay. And finally, moving on to the third stage, where customers need to pick one that they pick one product from all the considerations that. Now what you need to do is to provide them with some incentive. Okay, so this is a commerce ad. Okay, where you can like highlight the price you give, highlight the discount, highlight the financial incentive or other types of incentives you have. And of course, as I said, you can also run a reminder ad to remind customers of their purchase. Okay, so as you can see, we can design different types of content or creatives to target at customers who are at different stage. Okay, as you said, I know I have emphasized this a lot of times during the previous webinar and today's webinar, but knowing how the technology works is not the key of learning digital marketing. Okay, the key still lies in how good do you understand your target customer. As you can see from the earlier examples, if you want to design the right content, if you want to improve your conversion, you should understand at which stage your target customer is currently at, and what other content do they need. Okay, and so that you can design the right content that are relevant with the current stage your customer is currently at. Okay, so the final key question of display marketing is the measurement. Okay, so how should you measure the return on the advertising? So these two are very standard measures of measuring the ROI and the ad profit. Now, specifically for the display marketing, where we're paying under CPM mechanism, we can use this equation to calculate the display ad profit. This is still based on the two standard way to measure the ROI and the ad profit. Okay. So to summarize and compare the display advertising with the two main search marketing tools, the main purpose is to either increase awareness or to induce immediate action from the customers. Okay, and it always appears when customers either initiate a search, or this search means initiate a search on a publisher's website, or just normally browsing a publisher's website. Okay, and the key strategy, as I emphasized earlier, is ad design. Okay, is to design the right ad for the right audience. Okay, and finally, you can either pay by the pay per impression or the pay per click mechanism. Okay, but either way, you should always keep an eye on the cost. Okay, using the 4-stage process we used earlier. So monitor your cost at every step of the journey. Okay, so now let's look at the mobile app marketing. Okay, so so in this session, I'd like to provide you with more examples and more structure to our existing knowledge on the mobile app marketing. Okay, so before we look at these examples, so I'd like to introduce you with a very useful way to segment your app users, or to segment your target market in terms of the levels they need to engage. You need to engage with your customers, and your need to monetize your product or your service. Okay, so why these two dimensions are important? Because these are the main purpose of people of the of the firms that design or use the mobile app in their marketing activities. Okay, so you either use your app to improve the engagement with your target customer, or you use your app to improve your profit or increase your sales. Okay, so to this end, we have four clusters or four groups, if you will. Okay, so now let's first look at the uh, bottom left corner, where we have low need to monetize and low engagement level. And in this case, I would suggest you not to go into the mobile app marketing territory, because there's no need for you to design an app, because your target customer are having low need of engage with you through the app, or they have they have no activities, purchase activities through the mobile app channel. Okay, and moving up to the second cluster, where the need to engage with your customer, or your customers need to engage with your product or service is high, while the monetization need is low. In this case, this is a very typical type of mobile app. So typically, we see the e-commerce app falls into this region. Okay, for example, the eBay or the Amazon app. So okay, so they have a low need to engage and high need to monetize. Okay, so moving on to the bottom right corner, where you have high need to engage with your customer while low need to monetize. One example is the Nike Plus app, so which I will elaborate later in the webinar. Okay, so now let's look at the top right corner, where you have high need to engage with your customer and high need to monetize through the mobile channel. Okay, so we have two examples. One is the Starbucks app, and the other is IKEA catalog app. Okay, so I will elaborate on both later on in the webinar. Okay, so again, this is a very useful way for you to assess your need to engage with your customers through the mobile app option, and also to assess your existing mobile apps, if you have one, to assess which cluster or which region you are currently sitting in, and how should we improve on the engagement or on the monetization dimension. Okay, so let's now look at the bottom right corner. Okay, where we have high need to engage with the customer and low need to monetize. Okay, like I said, one great example for this cluster is a Nike Plus. Okay, so Nike Plus is, as some of you may have learned, its core function is to track the distance, the pace, and the GPS route of your runs, and also it allows the customers to share their exercise activity, to share their process to their friends through social media, on Facebook or other social media. Okay, and as you can tell, this is an app that mainly focusing on improving the engagement with the customers. Okay, so and the Nike Plus has been a very successful app in this apparel industry. Okay, and another example of engage with your customers through the mobile app is the Nissan ad. Okay, so this is not a app per se, but it's a great example to normal advertisers to allow them to engage with their customers, okay, through the interactive video ad. Okay, so these this ad is designed by Juicy Mobile and OMD, and they reuse the TV spot Nissan has run and to make it an interactive video ad. Okay, how to make it interactive on the mobile platform? It's done through planting the several hotspots. Okay, so I have one hotspots highlighted here in the slides. As you can see, it enables the brand to um, create a different experience for the mobile users, and the users will be able to see the information, see more information about the brand and about the product through this hotspot. Through this way, the users are interacting with the ad, and and the engagement rate are improved significantly. Okay, so according to the Juicy Mobile, the by planting 5 hotspots to enhance this regular video ad, the content has generated 78% completion rate and 93% engagement rate. Okay, so these are like 2 ways that you can use to improve the engagement level of your mobile users. Okay, and next is let's look at moving on to the upper right corner, where you both have high need to engage with your customer and a high need to monetize through the mobile channel. Okay, so to this end, IKEA is an excellent example. I don't know how many of you have heard of this IKEA catalog app. Okay, for those of you who are not familiar with this, I'm now going to play this video and see how this app works. Okay, so as you can see from the video, this app actually utilizes the popular augmented reality technology. Okay, through the augmented reality technology, the app allows customer to visualize a 3D version of IKEA's furniture in their own home. Okay, so as you can see from the video, the sofas, the tables, the desks and chairs are actually placed in the real in the customer's real space. Okay, so if you are like, imagine that if you are a customer that's going to buy a sofa for your living room, then it will be a very helpful way for you to visualize how the sofa will be fitted with the other furnitures of the room, and how it should be virtually placed into a room, and ultimately it will help the customer to make the purchase decision. Okay, so the story behind this IKEA catalog app is actually that IKEA found out that around 14% of its customers have bought the wrong sized piece of furniture, and more than 70% of the targeted customers don't know how big they should buy, buy the furniture, and how big their rooms, their homes really are. Okay, so motivated by these findings, IKEA designed this app to help its customers to make the purchase decision. Okay, and also at the same time to improve the engagement customers has with IKEA's product. Okay, as you can see, through this way, through this IKEA catalog app, IKEA can improve both its sales and improve its engagement level it has with its target customer. Okay, and another key information I think it will worth mentioning while we are talking about mobile app is and is the locational information. Okay, so statistics shows that the typical people like you and me, we normally have 40 to 50 apps installed on our mobile devices, but there are only 10 to 15 that are regularly used. Okay, that are used on regular basis. Okay, so if you are the one of the mobile app provider, how should you improve the engagement level with your customers? Okay, now let's see one example that we can use to improve the engagement level we have with our target audience through the location marketing. Okay, so a great example toward this end is the Starbucks. I don't know if you have used the Starbucks mobile app, and if you have, then you will know what I'm talking about. Okay, so for example, the Starbucks app will pop out a message for you if you are if you are nearby a Starbucks store. Okay, so I have one example displayed on the slides. For example, in this message, you can see that Starbucks can offer a proper discount for its target customers once it's detecting that this customer is nearby the Starbucks coffee store. Okay, as you can see, this is a great way to both improve the engagement level and increase the sales. Okay, through the use of location information. Okay, another great example of using the location information to both improve the engagement and improve the sales is from P&G. Okay, now I'm going to play these videos, and in this video you will learn how P&G use the location information to market their product. Okay.
Rain and humidity are pretty much the two worst things. I end up looking like a wet cat. My confidence was just totally ruined because of my hair. If I go outside and it's really hot out or humid, it can tend to frizz up really easily. My halo of frizz goes up to here.
You feel like less than yourself. You feel like I tried, but it looks like I didn't make an effort at all.
My weather app is on the front of my phone because I use it every single day.
We learned that women check the forecast first thing in the morning to see what the weather will do to their hair. So Pantene brought in the world's most popular weather app to deliver a geo-targeted Pantene hair solution to match the weather. When it was humid in Houston, we recommended the Pantene Smooth and Sleek collection for frizzy hair. When it was dry in Denver, we recommended the Pantene Moisture Renewal collection for dry hair. Pantene had a product solution for every kind of weather across the country. The forecast proved right. 2 times more media engagement, 4% sales growth, a 24% sales increase, and a 100% chance of self-confidence, optimism, and sunny dispositions.
When I'm having a good hair day, I feel absolutely amazing. Like I have like a different walk when I have a good hair day. I just like stomp down the street. I feel like Beyonce. I unabashedly take like a selfie.
And there's something really wonderful about that.
Okay, so as you can see that that by linking the geography or location information with the product feature and consumer needs, Pantene was able to align their advertising effort with the customer's experience. Okay, to improve their engagement with the customer and also increase the sales. Okay, so again, that's a great example of how to utilize the location information. And now let's see another example from another different industry where how we can use the location information to run a successful digital marketing campaign.
Yeah, I'm in the Nike store. There he is. He's getting the message. There's a promotion for BPAC. I think so. Yeah, we got him. Sick bubble gum!
Meatpack is the trendiest shoe store in Guatemala, a brand known for its edgy, cutting style and a store known for its unique discounts in limited edition kicks, including brands like Adidas, Nike, and Reebok. An icon for the sneakerhead subculture, with over 60,000 fans on their fan page in less than a year. They needed to launch a new promotion to live up to their hardcore fans, an innovative way to earn your discount. We created Hijack, an enhancement for the official Meatpack app used by our customers, using GPS tracking technology that marks every competitor store of the brand sold at Meatpack. So every time one of our sneakerheads enters one of the stores, it triggers a special notice with a promotion. Hijack sends an alert to the person's mobile with a discount that starts at 99% and decreases by 1% every second that goes by, making the countdown stop until you reach our store. More than 600 customers were hijacked from the competitors in a week. One customer, Pedro Rodriguez, got a record-breaking 89% discount. This is the first promo campaign that started the sale in the competitors' stores.
Okay, so that is a very interesting example. I don't know if you have ever heard of the Meatpack, but I'm sure you will remember this brand after today. So they have created an app to drive. They want to drive the footfall into their own store, and they think of stealing their competitors' customers. But how can they do that? They use They use GPS, and through the app, using the GPS, it will send an alert when the user was near a competitor store. Okay, so the alert will offer a timed discount starting at 99% off and taking down until the customer raced to the Meatpack store. Okay, as you can see from the video, the campaign has successfully hijacked over 600 people from their competitor stores within a week. Okay, and again, the previous 3 examples shows you the kind of possibilities we can get by using the location-based information to both improve the engagement level and improve the sales through the mobile app. Through the mobile app design. Okay, and here I summarize a set of digital marketing activities that can be used by using the location information that is available in basically any types of mobile app. And so the first one is you can do this by providing the location information on your website, and also you can utilize the location people are currently at while they are doing the searching, and you can offer the location-based pricing or the promotion, like the Starbucks example, and also you can provide location social media marketing, location-based social media marketing, and finally you can provide location-based recommendations. Okay, and the final piece is of the mobile app marketing is always the measurement. Okay, so we have to have the correct measurement, correct metrics to be able to track and monitor and optimize our performance. Okay, so in general, the mobile app marketing, we have two things that to measure. First is the user experience, then second is the revenue. Okay, the user experience is corresponding to the engagement level, and the revenue is corresponding to the monetization dimension. Okay, so we have I have listed a couple of key metrics we can use to measure either the user experience or the revenue we get. Okay, I'm not going to read it one by one, but the idea is that while doing the digital marketing through the mobile app, you should both measure your user experience as well as the revenue, the monetization. Okay, so that's today's webinar, and I hope that's been useful for you. And I'd like you to, after today's webinar, I'd like you to think about the key takeaways and think about how these takeaways can be applied to your existing work. And if you have any questions, I don't know if we have time to answer them today, but even if we don't, then feel free to submit your questions to the platform, and we will try to answer those after. Okay, thank you. Let me end the screen share and go back to Graph.
Yes, so Professor Shasha, I'm waiting for the questions. I haven't received any. If anybody has any questions, please post it now, or else we'll take it later then.
Do I have any questions?
Not yet. And the thing is, we actually have another webinar which is supposed to start post this in the next 15 minutes. So we might have to wrap up now.
Sure. Okay.
Then in that case, guys, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to post them on the discussion forum. We'll surely take them forward.
Great. Okay.
Okay, so I'll be ending the session now. Thanks for attending the session, guys.
Great. Thank you.